So now it's time for our new segment that we're doing. We're calling this "What Makes This Call Great?" Now you might ask, where have I come up with this? Why are we doing this? Because I think this is really important. And I was influenced to do this by, I'm going to pull up the YouTube page so you guys can see it. We'll show the YouTube page. There's a guy named Rick Beato. And Rick Beato is a music teacher. He's got over 2 million subscribers on YouTube. And he talks about music and songs, and he breaks them down. Kind of what we do on plays, he does on music. And he tells where the chord progressions are. And I enjoy watching some of the stuff, but he's got this segment. And you can see there what makes this call or this song great. And he's done a bunch of them. He's done over 100 of them. And it inspired me to think about this as to what makes a call great. And so a little bit of some background as well. I did a Google search. Greatest officiating calls ever. Okay? I challenge you to go do that. Do a Google search. Greatest officiating calls ever. You will not find any. Nobody puts the greatest officiating calls ever on YouTube. They only put the worst officiating calls. You will only find the worst officiating calls. Even if you put quotes for your search, the greatest officiating call ever or calls ever, you will not see any. And so it's like, now it's time. It is our time because we talk about the negatives a lot. And it is important that we highlight the positives as well because we do a lot of good work out there. So we're going to start this segment, and it might not be like part of our meetings, but you're going to start seeing them come out maybe once a week or once every couple weeks of what makes this call great. So this is play number 1. So we're going to let the play go because I got to turn the audio on. So let's make sure I got to make sure I got all the audio on so you hear it. But we're going to listen to this, and then we're going to go back and we're going to talk about what makes this call great. So here we go.
Backfield. Finley to throw. Rifles it down the middle. On his way is MIBT. Touchdown. That's the way you start the second quarter.
And the key word was rifle, and MIBT was wide open and delivered perfectly on this play. Bottom of the screen right here, right down the slot. Safety's coming up on the play, and before the opposite safety battle can get there, the ball is there. But did he drop the ball too soon?
Oh, no. That would be the ultimate problem.
They're going to take a look at this, I think. Are they? Did the ball go out too early? I think it did, Ness.
Oh, my goodness. He did the Julio Jones lean into the tape as a trackster, and he left the ball behind him.
I remember Tyrann Mathieu doing that in the SEC Championship game, too.
Well,
is it going to be replayed?
Apparently not. Extra point is up and good. They ruled it a touchdown on the field. Gene Steratore is with us. We'll get another look from Pilot Cam right here. Gene, you take over.
You know, Brad, I know we've all said this and seen this happen before, and unfortunately in this situation, this ball is clearly out of the runner's possession before it breaks the goal line. That would not be a touchdown if they would have reviewed it.
Isn't this a replay official mistake, though, Gene? I mean, it's close either way.
Yeah, yes, Gary. It would be, you want replay to initiate a review on this, and they would have to buzz down. We can see the back judge at the top of the screen from our pylon cam straddling the goal line.
Right.
This happens in such a blur for him that I'm sure he had some apprehension there. But this ball looks clearly out, guys.
Our producer, Craig Silver, is telling us from the truck it was reviewed.
All right, so you heard all the chitter-chatter from the announcers. And that was important because you also had Gene Steratore come in, who is the expert, talking about how this was a fumble prior to the ball breaking the goal line. Now, they never show the coach's tape, but we've got the coach's tape, thanks to our friend there, Mr. Lamani, but we've got the coach's tape. And so now this is the coach's tape on what actually happened. So you hear all this bad stuff. Oh, and they continue. The announcers continue on for like the next 3 minutes about how replay messed this up and how could they have not seen it properly. They just kept going. So let's go wide on this. Like I said, this is the coach's tape. Let's see what happens. Same play. Now you'll see you've got the two officials, the back judge and the side judge, or I guess the field judge. They're looking. Nothing. Have they done anything yet? They haven't done anything yet. If you watch that again, they have not done anything. They're just standing there. What happens? Oh, look at the arrow, look at the circle, and now touchdown. Okay? So what makes this call great? Those guys were on it. They were right there. They did not kill it. They let it stay alive. And once the other player, this was not a fourth down fumble rule or anything like that in college. This was a regular play. Guy picks it up, loose ball in the end zone. Team A has the ball, dead ball in the end zone. Now this is a touchdown. And they ruled that accordingly. One little thing I would say is that if our field judge would have thrown his beanbag, that may have alerted everybody that he's on it. And Gene Steratore might have saw the beanbag in the replay and said, oh, they have it as a fumble, and it would have gotten them to look at this even further to see that, oh yeah, that this is what actually happened. In fact, I'm going to pull up the stats. Here's the box score. If you look at the box score, this was ruled a 0-yard fumble recovery and given to the other player as a touchdown. So that's what the box score said. So that's what makes this call great. Those guys were there. They were on it. I don't care what the announcer said. They did the right thing. And that's a big game there for you. That's some of the highest stage of college football, to have that level of concentration, to see exactly what happened and rule it that way and not get the credit. Bill Lamani, what makes this call great?
Well, the officials had the patience. They were ready for a potential drop. They were in great position. If you were chasing that play from 10 yards behind, you wouldn't know where he dropped the ball. But they were right there on the goal line. The advantage to having the crew of 8. Good patience, good eye contact, and then went up. Replay, they weren't ruling that the first guy scored with their review. They were reviewing exactly what the officials called, that the next player scored the touchdown. Now, the only thing I would say, and in Gene Steratore's defense, and I will defend my colleague who does rules analysis, that Gene was doing this remotely. He had no view of whether or not and it was the side judge and the back judge, whether they went up or not. He had to go strictly off of what he was being told by the two announcers. And so to Gene's thing, I'm sure if he saw that tape, he'd have been going, oh man, these guys were right on it. But he didn't get that opportunity to do that. The only thing I'd recommend that should have happened was that since this was a peculiar play, I would have liked to seen the back judge and the side judge communicate this to the referee. And when they were initially doing the hold to see if replay was going to shut it down or not, the referee's announcement could have been that there was a fumble on the play recovered by a second player for the touchdown. And that would have alerted, I know high school, you're not doing it for the TV audience and that, but at the college level or the pro level, working with the TV group and educating them what to look for specifically would have been a good thing for that referee to do.
Well, you're right. High school, we don't do the TV stuff, but I agree. I think if they would have had the mic or the referee would have communicated that, it might have changed everybody's perception of this play. But still, that's what makes this call great, that they were right on it. So you're going to start seeing this segment, like I said, come to you. They might not be part of the meeting. They may be part of the meeting if it's pertinent. But this is why I just think it's important that we highlight the good things that we do as officials, because there are a lot of good things that we do.